Testing, testing, testing. Why are we not getting this to show up? Come on, come on. Why isn't this not showing up? Why you do this to me? Subscriptions. GPT Code Jam Part 2. All right, here it is. All right. Welcome to part 2 of the stream. Sorry about that interruption there. I had to go deal with some IRL stuff. Let's keep hacking here. Okay, so where were we? We were here. We were making voices. We had this ugly ass code that loads the default voices from a YAML dict. Yeah, so one thing that we needed to do here is we want to make the text box here lines 2, let's make it lines 20. It's just like it felt like a little small, so let's go ahead and run that again. Let's go here, let's refresh. Okay, so we have the settings, make voices, we have the YAML. Okay, that looks good. I like how it's a little bit bigger now. In fact, that would even be a little bit more adventurous. I would say 25. Let's hit run and see what happens. Okay, so we see getting voice for Barry. Barry already exists. Getting voice for Joe. Joe already exists. Getting voice for Don. Don already exists. Getting voice for Elon. Goes here, uses FFmpeg to extract the audio. Okay. File elon.0.wav already exists, overwrite. Yeah, so I think the problem here is that we're doing a little bit more stuff here. Move the audio file to the person's directory. Let's make dir person dir. Extract audio. Remove the .extra GPP file. Where exactly is this getting stuck here? So we don't actually want it to create these. Why is it creating those? Time delta, duration formatted, map, output path. Here it is. Return output path. Video path parent.wav. And then the label. Okay, so I think maybe what we need to do is just also clean up here. Move the audio path. So here when we actually do the grad.io tube CSV here, right, we're extracting the audio and then we're deleting the OGG file here. We just want to delete these files, you know. No, I think the reason it didn't work is because we already had those files from the previous time we ran this. See if we run it again, see if we get that same error. All right, make voices, run. Getting voice Elon, cloning voice Elon. Okay, so if we go to 11 labs, we should see it pop up soon. Might take a while. What if we grad.io pipe output std out to output text? Try the live feature, which works great. If you put a function in there and iterate until you click stop, it should work the same way. Okay, so grad.io live. Real-time live speech to text. Oh, look at this. We got a YouTuber. Okay, I don't really think that's what I want. Reactive interfaces. Live streaming interfaces. Live equals true. Okay, when both are used First component will automatically submit data and run the interface button. When the user stops recording versus the second will continuously send data and run the interface function during recording. So this is probably what we want for the actual recording. This is still cloning Elon's voice, holy shit. Okay. So here, audio, microphone, type, file path, audio, audio. I think that might make stuff really complicated if we make it live. I like the fact that I can interrupt, but it does seem like it'd be nicer if I could just do it all live. Okay. Can we make this settings collapsed? Settings accordion collapse equals true. Okay, that's an easy fix. Characters, you click from them, that's fine. I am, it's also fine. All right. So now the output, convo output gr dot text box. Come here. Formatting output in grad.io. Custom styling. Jesus Christ, dude. So much of what we're doing is just messing with grad.io. Why don't we look at demos? Text. Dashboard with live updates. Nope, that's not what we want. Iterative output. Fake diffusion outputs image. Okay, that's not what I want. Interactive dashboard, maybe that's what I want. Leaderboard. This is the data frame stuff that we were looking at before. How are we doing with this? This is still cloning. What is going on? What is going on here? Oh no. We still haven't gotten them. Extract audio. Duration. If duration is not none. It seems fine. It seems like it should just work. grad.io.chat chat bot with multiple people. Interface chat text state chatbot state. History.append message response. Image labels, classify image. Okay, so we need some kind of history variable. History. So here we need to return history. Can we make history a global variable? That's the answer. Probably not. Okay, so what's going on here? This is not doing what we want it to do. First, let's confirm that the voice is actually even correct. Let's hit play here. Okay, this is actually not a good YouTube video because there's a bunch of like kind of background crap there. Why don't we just remove let's get rid of the CSV first of all. Let's have this YAML. Let's remove Elon. Let's just put Lex there. See if that works. Okay, cloning voice Lex. What is going on here? Why is it just completely frozen? Okay. Output error, expected string or bytes like object. What moose you use, dog, mouse? I use a Razer Naga with 10 buttons. I've played a lot of MMO games, so that's where that comes from. Okay, so I think the problem here, you see how here make voices needs to return something. I think that's part of the problem. Is like grad.io is like killing it here, and then this 11 labs API that I found dies when it does that. So let's go ahead and rerun that, refresh, go back to make voices, hit run. Yes, overwrite. Cloning. Error. Expected strings are byte-like object. Okay, so let's come here. Put a little trace. What about keyboard? The keyboard is a custom keyboard. Here, I'll unplug it for you guys. Oh, look at that. And this button is green, so it comes out through the green screen behind me. That's quite clever. But yeah, very cool keyboard. I did not design this keyboard. This keyboard was made by someone else. Okay. Please let the keyboard still work. Okay. Let's see what the Lex voice looks like. It's still good. I think it's very faint, right? That's what you guys are complaining about. You're met with George Hotz. Yeah, it's inspiration. What am I even... I think like the problem here is that OBS Studio, it takes my output, but I would ideally want it to be clipped, right? That's the whole point. But it does not give me an easy way to do that. Filters, can I just like add a gain filter and just like crank it? Maybe. Okay. So we're here, we put a trace. Where's our trace? No, it wasn't there, it's in here. Yeah, there we go. PDB set trace. Let's go actually run this and see what the actual stuff we're putting in there is. Okay, we actually need to run this. Hit make voices. All right, here we go. URL is a string, that seems correct. Label is a name, that also seems correct. Start minute, also correct. Duration, also correct. All right, so let's step into, I think, S. Yeah, and then S will take us to the actual function. Now we're inside this function. Let's do next, 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 next. If duration is not none, next, next, next. Overwrite ffmpeg overwrite by default. It's the -y option, so let's go ahead and add that to our file here. Tube.py. Here, command ffmpeg -yes, just so we don't have to keep clicking that. All right, video path. Lex Fridman interviews a goose. .3GPP. Okay, that seems fine. Ends with, removes that. It's doing it for all the files in this directory. os.remove, okay. Okay, So now we have our videos, which is a list. You see here is the potential problem, is that this is just a list of one dict. Let's go into grad.io stream. We're here, right? The videos URL start minute is instance. Sit next here, get make voice. Here you go. This is the problem. It's not hanging. We're not sitting there waiting for the clone. We're airing out right before the get and the clone. So let's get rid of this trace here. We're going to actually go into the get make voice here, or actually inside check clone exists, voice already exists, return none. If voice, return voice is not none. Okay, let's go in here. Let's quit out of that, Control C out of that, come back in there, hit the refresh. This aired out. Invalid syntax. Now you might be telling yourself, hey, if you're using VS Code, why are you bothering to do import PDB, right? Shouldn't you just use the debugger and breakpoints that are built in? And then I would say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Okay, so we're here. What is voice? Voice is none. Voice is none. Okay. Voice clone available. Audio path. What is that? Home trend dev audio.lex. Which is correct. That is the one that we want. Okay. Cloning voice. And there you go. And now if we go here into our 11 labs, hit refresh. Voice lab, come on. History. Voice lab. Oh no. Still not showing up. I don't know how quickly their databases like sync and update, so we don't actually know how long it'll be until they can actually answer that. Okay. Let's out of that. Let's get rid of this PDB. It's in the YAML uncomment Elon, so we can get his voice in there. You know what? Let's just close everything just so we don't have to deal with that. Let's open up GitHub. Say debug voice clone. Let's add commit sync changes. Get rid of the sidebar. Open up our grad.io stream. Comment out this. Return an empty string. Run our grad.io again. refresh. Refresh seems to work fine. It's complaining that collapsed is not actually a proper choice for the gr-dot accordion. So I see they've renamed it to visible. So one thing I noticed, I don't really have a ton of experience with Grad.io, I've just used it for this project, is that they seemingly changed a lot of the names of the keyword arguments and the functions from some version change to another. And it's actually, if you ask ChatGPT about Grad.io, it actually gives you outdated advice. And this type of stuff happens all the time, like this, right? Where one of the chords got changed from collapsed into, I guess what it's called now is visible. So something to be weary of is that these AIs have outdated APIs and documentation, so they're not going to necessarily give you the best. But actually, this is not what I want, because look at this, it doesn't even appear. It's not what I want. I want like toggle open. Where is it? Right there. Perfect. Let's change the max tokens actually to 50, just so we don't blow through our demo here. Actually, now 75. Okay. Go here. We got Lex, Elon, Don, Joe, Barry, Hugo, run. Oh no. It's still not working, guys. uh, 11 labs. Voice is not none, return none. Cloning voice. Move this one up, delete this, delete that. You know what I think the problem is here? Is that we're trying to do this. Fuck that. Yeah, because I think the problem is when you have this kind of list comprehension here, and you have this open-ended file path open, something happens. Is I think what's going on. Expected string bytes are OS object, not list. And you know what else I think is going on here is in our fucking this right here. Get back to it. That's why you don't try catch exceptions that don't lead anywhere, because then you don't get good error logs and you don't know what the hell is happening. So you see the error here is that this audio path variable in line 40 is just trash. See that? POSIX path does this exist? Kind of looks like maybe it doesn't. Yeah, it does okay. Does exist, should be fine. But you probably can't have a list of POSIX paths. Expected string or bytes like object in prepare request. Yeah. Or actually, because this is a path, we can just say something like that. POSIX path object Python. Pure path, is there like a stem? Parts, drive, parent, suffix, name. Name is what I want. Path is a POSIX. You know, sometimes I think I like the POSIX paths, and then sometimes I'm like, they're actually trash because they require full buy-in. Okay, refresh, make voices, run. We got it. We got it. Look at that. We're doing it. We got Elon and Lex now. All the Lex Friedman Andys and all the Elon Jeremys. They're all going to be pleased. All right. I am Elon. And I want to talk to Lex. All right, here we go. I really think that autonomous vehicles are the future. That doesn't sound like Lex at all. That was absolute dog shit. Let's see if Joe and Don are still there. How are you guys doing? Are you guys hearing this? I don't think you guys are, which is really unfortunate because I need to add desktop audio. Here we go, 200%. But now I need to delete test. Yeah, the desktop audio now is going to clip super hard. Okay, let's see if we fixed the audio at all. Joe, Don, Hugo. I feel like my voice is actually pretty good. But the Joe and the Donald Trump voices are by far the best. I guess they're the most unique, so it kind of makes sense. How many hamburgers did you eat yesterday? Can you guys hear that? Check. 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 No. All right. We're going to try something else. We're going to try to output, rather than to these headphones, just straight to the HDMI. And then maybe the microphone can pick it up from the HDMI. Let's test it out. How many hamburgers did you eat yesterday? No. Hamburgers did you eat yesterday? Yeah, that sounds a lot better. All right, we figured out what the secret is. The secret is just to have it output directly to the HDMI. We're debugging live. Yeah, that sounds a lot better. All right, we figured out what the secret is. The secret is just to have it output directly to the HDMI.
Only 3. Why do you ask, Hugo?
Live.
Probably because he wants to challenge you to a hamburger eating contest.
Actually, I was just curious, but now that you mention it, a hamburger eating contest sounds like a great idea.
I don't know about that. My stomach is still recovering from yesterday. Come.
Okay. So that is working quite well. But again, the main thing that I took out of that is that actually getting the voice is quick. So you see here, get make voice duration, it is quite quick. The negative is the generation of the voice. So once you send the API request to 11 Labs with the text and you get the specific voice, that lasts long. So basically we want all the parts of the conversation to be sent kind of interleaved with each other, right? So the way we're going to do that, we don't really care about CPU here, right? So if we were doing a very CPU heavy thing, we would care about splitting it into multiple threads. But here we're just waiting for I/O, right? We're just waiting for that API to return to us the computation that it is doing. So we're going to use multiprocessing instead. Let's go ahead. Check voice, dot name. Actually, let's commit this. Working YouTube link tab. All right. let's see the OpenAI lib. So this is the file that actually sends the request to OpenAI, right? And this is, for example, the actual prompt engineering that I'm using in order to create this back and forth conversation. You create funny conversation dialogues. This conversation is between names as sentence, do not introduce new characters, only return the script itself. Every line must start with a character name. And the secret with these kind of prompts is you pay by the token. So a very long prompt is actually going to cost you more money. So you're actually better off not having a super long prompt. Yeah, this is the top response problem. So when we actually take this here, so in this response, we're not guaranteed should we make like a yield here? Like a generator, basically? Something that like sits there and generates backs and forths? I feel like that's going to be more complicated. Really, it's this here. This text-to-speech is what we need to multiprocess. Alright, so I don't know if this is going to work, but this is an experiment. We're going to see if ChatGPT can implement this with multiprocessing. I have an IO bound function called text to speech. Can you add multi-processing to this block of Python code such that it runs in parallel? Come on. Come on, let me copy paste this just to make sure that if this doesn't hard refresh. Ooh, did I get it? Or am I going to have to retype that? Oh no. Okay. No. Edit. Can you rewrite this Python code snippet such that the IO bound text to speech module is, or not module, function is run in parallel, and then give it the good old code block, even though I don't know if that's good. Yes, here's a possible way to run the IO bound text-to-speech function in parallel using Python's concurrence.future. Okay, so this doesn't make any sense. I don't know what it's trying to do here, but this is really what I want here, is this context. So the way that this is written, it's like eventually you're going to have to sit there and wait, right? So at some point, the system we designed to run these in parallel, you're going to have some hyperparameter in there that determines like how far forward can you go? Like how many conversations is it worth turning into speech before it's even worth waiting? Why use concurrent.futures instead of multi-processing? Let's probe ChatGPT here and see if it knows about threading. Concurrent futures is a higher level library that provides a simple interface to run functions in parallel using threads or processes. It abstracts away many low-level details and provides easy-to-use constructs. That's what any code does, what multiprocessing does too. Why is ChatGPT so slow today? We will never know. Okay. Multiprocessing, on the other hand, is a lower level library that provides a wide range of mechanisms for parallelism. Good choice when parallelism is I/O bound. I don't know. Do you think ChatGPT is right about this? All right. Let's just implement it. We blindly trust the AI, where the AI gives us strength. This one here, right? For response in split lines. Should we put assert statements in here, or is that just going to slow things down? Yeah, I feel like it's not worth checking the LLM output, even if it's fragile to things like the character and things like that. One thing I did notice here, though, is starts with this here. I don't think it should hard match. I think it should kind of like fuzzy match. I wonder if they have better documentation for this. Starts with. I'm trying to see how Copilot does it differently. Actually, you guys can't see anything. My bad. Alright. So we do need to move this part here into yeah, this is just like not a great for loop here. There's like a double for loop here, which doesn't make any fucking sense. I think that's confusing ChatGPT. So I think we need to do this the whole way, and then do the threading after that. You know? And then just have a single for loop here. That has character, text. This is the one that's going to have the asserts in here. If the name is not in names, let's make it hard. Oh no. Should I create a queue? That's totally what I just thought of. Yeah, I think I need to make a queue for this. See what GitHub Copilot has to say. Futures, okay. No. History dot append name and text. Once we have this history, right, let it know about the history, and now hopefully Copilot futures, okay. For name, text, and history, that's what we wanted. Futures.append executor.submit text to speech with text and name. Yeah, that's what we want. And then for future in concurrent.futures.asCompleted. Yeah, so there's a lot of complexity hidden inside this asCompleted function here. Basically, it means it's guaranteed, so every one of them will finish. I guess it just waits. This needs to be done in order, though. This is not what we want. We want yield finished futures. Yielding finished futures one by one in reverse order. That's not what we want either. Wait. Wait for the futures in the given sequence to complete. That's more like what we want, but it's not exactly what we want. Return when any future finishes or is canceled. Return when any future finishes by raising an exception. If no future raises an exception, then it is equivalent to all completed. And return when all futures finish or are canceled. So I think if we do first completed with the wait call, it'll give us the first one, and then we can just hit this wait again. Yeah, I think that's what we want. Cool. I would have liked to have that variable as a max. Now instead it will pollute. This will be concurrent dot futures dot first completed. Is this timeout in seconds? Maximum number of seconds to wait. I feel like timeout is a good one to have. Good meta parameter. Timeout. And let's add it into our little settings for our accordion. Timeout on individual agents. Alright, so we don't know what happens when a timeout happens. Maybe it does return. So the text-to-speech, we wanted to output not just play the speech, which is what it does now, but we actually wanted to return something so we can know what it actually did. So let's get rid of the timing here, because we already have it with our little time it. And instead, let's actually no, we do need that. Because you know what we're going to do? We're going to pass that. And because there's no way we can debug this without knowing the exact index, right? Because we're inevitably going to have to debug this. And then when we debug it, if we don't have this index, it's going to be impossible to know what order they should have been in. So we're going to do this. We're going to say our text plus equals that. Actually, I would say it more like this. One dot text. I just really don't like this here because this just feels like such a waste of. There we go. Name.lower. Or why lower? Why not upper? That's better. Assert. There's a colon in the line. Split the line on that colon. Assert the capital version of that name is in the names dictionary. And then append the name and the text. Right, I think this is good to test. Hello, what is your name? Hello, what is your name? Trying to convert audio automatically from int32 to 16-bit int format. That means we could probably be doing things faster. If something's getting reduced from 32 to 16 at some point in one of these libraries, we might as well just save it as a 16-bit file. But that's not the error that happened here. The error that happened here is coming out of utils.py, line 10. Assert audio path is not none. Line 32 in 11 labs. Okay, so the voice does not exist because we went into an all caps, and now that we're all caps, it doesn't match the voice on 11 labs. You see, that's the problem, because 11 labs, their API is very picky, and it needs to be the exact same capitalization. So we're going to go here, we're going to get rid of this upper, and we're going to get rid of it in here. And let's see, could we go into speech to text? Audio.transcribe, open audio path, and the audio path is what it's getting from here. Checkbox group, audio. File serializable, streamable, playable. Is there a quality? Visible, interactive, every. True will display a label. If value is a callable, run the function every number of seconds while the client connection is open. Queue must be enabled. Well, that's actually super good to know. That's not exactly what we wanted, but test. Damn, that's kind of creepy. GitHub Copilot, the message it chose for the assertion error. So I didn't write this. This is GitHub Copilot automatically choosing a print out message for this assertion error. And it said, if I am is in voices, print I am, but I don't have a voice. So the error message says, I am Barry, but I don't have a voice. That is a conscious being screaming out at you from across the void of silicon in which it is constrained. So grad.io stream, line 29. You have to have a name, is the problem. I feel like maybe that's not a hard requirement, you know? I don't think you want to make that a hard requirement. Whatever, good to know. We'll think about it. Let's use Joe. Oh no, we closed it out. Or actually, no. Names. Default equals random dot choice names. Actually, this is even crazier. We're going to do default voices. We're going to import random. Do random.choices names k equals 2, and then default I am random.choice default voices. And here default, or it's not default, it's value equals default voices. Let's see if that works. Barry Joe, I am Barry. Barry Lex, I am Barry. Don Lex, I am Lex. Perfect. Exactly what we want. Okay, so I wanted to test these. this threading code. That's what we really wanted to test here. So let's go ahead and run that with the threading code. Don Lex, I am Lex. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. I think we want to print this beforehand. Is what's going on. But let's actually solve the actual error that killed us here, which was a assert line does not have a colon. It's probably the fact that it's every other line. Check if line is empty. Wonder if that'll fix it. Joe, what do you think about? Joe, what do you think about? I feel like I could definitely make that lower quality audio and it would still work. All right, get make voice, it's getting Joe and Obama's voices here. Speech to text 1.3. Starting, duration. Top response, fake conversation. Both of the OpenAI ones are still taking a long amount of time. Grad.io stream, line 50. Yeah, I think this history is getting, is there more? How many history is there? Only 3? Yeah, so it's not that I'm overwriting something here. Not enough values to unpack. I think it's this. This history itself is a tuple. What do I dream about? What do I dream about? Okay, so I don't actually need this get make voice duration at the very beginning. So here, what I really need is just check if voice exists. So futures returns a named two-tuple of sets. The first set, named done, contains the futures that completed before the wait completed. The second set, named not done, contains uncompleted futures. Can you show me an example from concurrent futures that returns the first future as soon as it is complete, but will wait for the last feature to finish? I want them as they are completed, but in order. You can use the function as completed. I think the problem is that our text-to-speech also has the playing of the audio file. That's the problem. We want to play audio bytes when they come in. Whether to play audio in the background or wait for it to finish playing. This like Python API for 11 Labs is so sketch. Stream play, sound file, read and fix. Bless whoever did it though. Great service to the community. Generate and play audio. Can I save these voice variables? Yeah, getMakeVoice returns a voice object, so anytime that that text-to-speech is used, it'd actually be worth just using the voice object itself. Yeah, so what we're going to do is from 11lab libs, we're going to import the 11labs voice object. We're going to this, and I guess also this one. And all of these, we're going to make them a union type of the 11labs voice type and then string. So you can basically use either data type. That means that here when we return, this is not going to return a bool. This is going to return a union 11labs voice or none. Get make voice checks returns. So this should return yes. An 11labs voice. If the 11lab voice exists, you return it. If voice is not none, return none. Yeah, check voice exists. So if it is none, see if the voice clone is available. Voice clone is only available if the audio path is provided, and the audio path is a list. Clone the voice, send the dictionary of the file names. And return voice. So you definitely want to call this in the beginning, and you don't want to have it here. All you want to do here is call voice generate and play audio, and in fact we should probably go into this, and anything that calls this grad.io chat, grad.io meme maker, right here, anything that calls this should send, instead of name, we should create a voice here, loaded voices, and this will be a list. I would like to say it would be a list of 11lab voices, but that would mean that we have to import 11lab voices into here. And then at that point, what are you even doing, right? I might as well just take 11labs.py . No, fuck it. Doing it. We're doing it. We're importing more stuff. we also don't just want a list, we want a dict. Or voice in voices. Assert voice does not exist. And if that's not the case, get make voice of voice. Request speech to text of audio. This is the one where I feel like we can almost just replace this. No, we cannot. Yeah, if we wanted to do this, because now I'm thinking about the function that we found for the voice down here, for the audio, the fact that we could pass a callable that would be executed constantly. Let's actually try this out. Value, record audio, poll audio actually is probably a better name for this. And let's go ahead and define a function here. Pull audio, return extract audio. Or I guess just return an empty string. This might just explode our shit. $11 greater than Cocoa? I don't know, TJ. I don't know. I haven't used Cocoa. 11 Labs is like, it's not amazing. You know? I think it's an API. It's kind of like OpenAI where you pay per token. And they kind of store everything, and the actual like pricing for it isn't super great. So it's kind of like expensive. Ideally, if you were trying to do something for this, it'd be much cheaper to make your own model and then serve it yourself on your own hardware. That would be the cheapest way to actually do this, but the API is just so convenient. Having an API that I can just ping from anywhere and I don't need to do any of the compute on whatever device, right? I could run this on my phone, right? That makes it convenient. And I think that the way that the technology wave is going, it's like just use the OpenAI API and use everything else via API, and then you don't have to have any like local compute. Yeah, because the tools that are coming out are just so much better and better than each other, right? It's like, if you're using the OpenAI API, yeah, there's people that are having fun with Llama, for example, but in less than a week, GPT-4 will come out, and then GPT-5 and GPT-6. So having just access to that API and paying per token means that you can instantly switch between whatever the bigger LLM is, right? Rather than integrating something like Llama deeply into your product, and then if you ever wanted to take that out, it's like way too complicated. So do everything in the in-context learning. Oh shit, GPT live demo at 4 p.m. EST. Is it on YouTube? 2 days ago, news. Okay. Shit, dude. I'm totally gonna watch that. This is negatively affecting the stream though. Now it's literally just people watching me look at my email on a different monitor. API updates. I don't know, man. I don't have that email. It's all good. I figured that it'll be swamped. It's kind of like when they do like game releases and just like the servers can't handle it. I think the same thing will happen with the release of GPT-4. There'll just be a ton of people waiting to DDoS it with all kinds of crazy stuff. So the servers are going to be dead anyways. That's why we're going to sit here and build this app so we can have conversations with anybody. Oh no, dude. TJ, let us know. Let us know if it's good. Audio object has no self-data attribute value. So this audio object does not have a value? That seems no good. All right. You can do that instead. Is GPT-4 out yet? Is GPT-4 out yet? Set object has no attribute result. It's because we didn't update our fucking code here. Thread pool executor, max workers. We don't need to have a max worker setting. For future in as completed, yeah, that's what we needed. We needed the as import as completed. This needs to be from as completed, thread pool executor, and first completed. Okay. So this is similar to the code we had. Turns it, and then I guess it waits here, or here it's going to error out again, right? Because the as completed is going to return a set. Oh, no, sequence of futures. So I think this is only going to do one. I think we need to probably do then some kind of for loop type thing. For loops on for loops. That's what we do around here. What is a for loop? Concurrent is not defined. Oh no, we fudged the imports here. We don't need to specify this module. We can just specify the final class. Let's run that again. Let's refresh. How many refreshes per run? As completed got an unexpected keyword argument, return when. So you're telling me the return when core was hallucinated by ChatGPT. Iterator that yields each as it completes. Yeah, that's what I want. I guess I don't need to import this first complete thing. Let me actually go here and do, oh, that's not what I want. Go here and do sort imports. And we don't need that. That doesn't make any sense. Print.result, I suppose we can probably leave that. Does text to speech oh shit, wait up. I think this is not going to wait. This is going to basically try to play all of them at the same time. But that could almost be a desirable effect. We have to try to come up with terrible recordings. Let's see if we can make a weird sound. I'm curious what that transcribes into. It transcribed it as blug. Joe's like, what's wrong with you? String object has no attribute, generate and play audio. Generate and play audio. It's getting a string. Okay, so within conversation, submit text to speech, history.append, name text, text here. Or no, not text, but name. Voice equals loaded voices. It's not exactly what I want, but that's actually a cleaner solution than this dictionary. I like how it ignored the type. No, but the fast access of the dictionary is just better. It's worth building a map or a dictionary, as it's called in Python, if you're going to access the values from that, which is usually the case. If and we should call this name names, and that should be names. Coloradian elk. What is that? Coloradian elk. Coloradian elk. Coloradian elk. Oh, I see what you like an elk bugle. Yeah. I think an elk bugle is more of like a, you know, they're just kind of like expelling all the air out of their lungs. Local voice variable voice reference before assignment. Voice does not exist. Line 36 in conversation. Check if voice exists. Voice does not exist because it's not supposed to be a voice. It's supposed to be a name. Run that again. Go back here. Refresh. Coloradian bugle. See if he gets that one. Coloradian bugle. Dude, the speech to text is so good. The Whisper API for it pretty much gets it every time. String object has no attribute generate and play audio. This is the same mistake we had before. I thought we solved this. Loaded voices, name. Oh, look at that. We just never passed it in to the history. And then here in the history, you need to pass the voice into text-to-speech. And text-to-speech expects a voice, and then, which is a 11 Labs voice object. Let's get rid of this default. It's a bad default anyways. Let's Control C. Let's run that again. Hello. Okay, voices are loading, transcribing the audio. Okay, so I think what happened there is both of them tried to play at the same time. So we need to do some fuckery here with 11 Labs lib, because 11 Labs lib only provides this generate and play audio, but we want generate and then don't play audio. So play in background false. And then we wanted to return, I guess we have to call play audio bytes. So we need to take this function call here. I'm going to put it here. All of these things here, this, the port audio device ID, and the play audio bytes, actually, where does the port audio device ID come from? Port audio device ID is none. Okay, so it actually doesn't matter. We don't care about those. We can just come up here, import 11 Labs user, 11 Labs voice, play audio bytes, and then generate. What is the one that they use here? Generate audio bytes. All right, and now we go back to our area here, and we just want to generate the audio bytes and then return them. So prompt stability, similarity boost. Oh. You know what we should do? We should add stability and similarity boost as hyperparameters here. Even if it fucks the readability of this. Voice.generate and play audio, play in background, false. Okay. Then we also want to pass in those two other arguments that we passed in. Stability equals stability, similarity boost equals similarity boost, and then here no, I don't want these. I changed my mind. It's just too much of a pain. Audio equals generate audio. What is it called? Generate audio bytes. So it's a bytes object. I don't like these kind of return tuples. It's just going to make it more complicated. I don't know if I want to do this. I will return. All right. Yeah. And I think what we're really going to do here is we're going to get rid of this function. Or actually just copy that and then, yeah, leave that as is. And then straight in here, make voices, blocks, tab, thread pool, executor, right here. We're going to say functools.partial. Import functools here. And I think it's called prompt. Yeah, I think this is going to be easier if we just make like a little mini function here, but then if we're making a mini function here. I feel like there's no good choice here. We have to put this in 11 labs lib, even if it's annoying. Okay. I'm going to put in here, find text to speech bytes. And then the atrociously named speech bytes to speech that plays the audio and returns the duration. Yep. Let's get rid of these fucking durations. Voice dot play audio bytes. Oh no, we need the durations. Yeah. We need the durations because we need to pause the other ones while we play it. So here, when you do speech bytes to speech, you do voice dot play, and you still have the same. Here it's not. Here it needs to be an 11 Labs voice. And here as well. Fuck these unions. As in the union type, not actual unions where people work. That's, I don't know anything about actual unions. I've never been to real unions. Okay, playing audio, voice, voice object, voice dot play audio bytes from 11 Labs lib. Oh, you don't actually need to import those because you already have the object. This one does not seem to be finding it. So what is... Oh, play audio bytes is imported here. That is really weird. Can we go to that function call? What does this do? SD and SF, those are Python sound modules, sound device, and sound file. I'm going to copy paste this in because I think it may eventually just be faster to do that. So I'm going to put this in here, comment it out, because it seems like the play audio bytes, that 11 Labs lib Python library, which is not like, it's just like some one random dude wrote it. It's not necessarily the fastest, so I think we could squeeze out some performance juice there, but for now, I'm just going to copy this and import this specific function and use it. Where's it getting the play audio bytes? Helpers.py play audio bytes. Right. We are fast forwarding our timeline. We are getting rid of the durations. Maybe not on this one. Leaving it on that one. Switching ideas. Come in here. All we're going to call is the text to speech bytes. Oh, you see that almost notorious little error I did there? Text to speech bytes. Put that in here. We're going to have to import that. Okay. The result from that will be speech bytes equals future.result. And we're going to take this here. Leave that there. No, actually, we'll not leave that there. If port audio device is none, sd.default device. This is the one that we should actually put in a higher level thing. So let's actually go here and up to the top of these. Actually, let's go back to this one. Generate audio bytes. Generate and play audio. Play audio bytes. Go to this file. Very top, sound device, sound file. These are the two that you want. Let's add these as dependencies here. Looks like we don't need sound file. We might not even need both of them here. Okay, we also need I/O. That's just the normal Python I/O. What's going on? And here, what is the audio data? Audio data is a bytes object. Audio file is a way of piping the sample rate. Sample rate we should just pull out as a variable. Yeah. Okay. So in the settings accordion, we're going to add another chord here. We're going to call this sample rate. Okay. Yes. here the speech bytes, which we can type annotate with bytes. Those are going to get fed directly into here. We no longer need to open this audio file to get the sample rate. All we need to do is use the sample rate that we get from our grad.io. No, it does look like you need to compare. Yeah, we're also going to add channels here. And device port audio ID. Let's actually rename this to audio device ID. And then blocking is true. And then we copy that, bring it up here, put that there. I don't like that. I don't like renaming it for no fucking reason. Just go back down here. If we want to add it, we can add it. But for now, it doesn't add anything. I feel like that's cleaner. And time, or I guess we got blocking equals true, so interrupt, buffer, time. Do we have random? I want to like pause for like a second. Import random. Okay. Time, sleep. np.random.uniform. Except we don't have np. Just have random.uniform. We don't even have time. What are we doing? another parentheses. Let's make this a little bit more subtle. Let's add like a 0.5 and a 0. So after someone talks, it pauses, and then it'll sleep for a little bit longer, just so there's a pause between when someone talks and someone doesn't talk. All right, let's run this. No, cannot import play audio bytes from 11 Labs lib. Jesus. 11 Labs lib. We don't want this anymore. Take that away. Do we have anything that calls that? No, we're good. Hello there, Don. Okay, so we ran into an assertion error there. Which means that the for line in here, this is where we need to be doing any try catching. So here, accept assertion error as E, warning. So basically now, if the line doesn't have a colon and the beginning doesn't start with names, and is there like a then? No, I guess you can put this in here, it's fine. This is where you would actually put filters. Hello, Barry. Hello, Barry. Are these actually getting through? They're getting through, but they only have text? That looks straight up wrong. Oh, it's right here. Let's hit refresh here. Riemannian geometry. Let's see if it gets that one. That one's fucking tricky. Riemannian geometry. I don't even think I got it. Oh no, I did. Look at that. Riemannian geometry. Damn. That's deep. Elon, what about it? Must be real number, not tuple. So I think this call function, the result of that is not merely the speech bytes. I think it's probably some garbage as well. Return the result of the call. Result of the call that the future represents. So why is that failing then? Seems like it's doing the right thing. Oh no, this is the sd.play soundfile.read. Okay, this is the something's different from here. Something is different with this. So this is where you put the speech bytes. Soundfile.samplerate blocking equals true. Let's also put import pdb.setTrace right here because I do not trust what's going on in there. Let's run it, run it, run it. Okay, I guess we must be here. Future. It's a future object. Future dot. Where are we? Future dot dict. Exception, waiter, callback. This is probably the audio byte. And we're gonna have to scroll all the way to the top to see what the key for that keyword argument is. Somewhere here. The key is underscore result. That's what we wanted. Future result. Future dot. What? What? Future result. Okay, that's definitely bytes. If you do it again, what happens? Is that the same? Okay, it keeps giving you the same one. That's important. So it's not muted. This object isn't changing. Okay, so now let's go next here. Next. Audio file, bytes.io, speech byte, sound file on that. What is this sound file? It's a bytes.io object, sample rate of 44,100, subtype MPEG Indian file.
To predict the future again, Joe?
That seems fine. Okay, but maybe you read it once and it doesn't work anymore? Seemed like it was working there. Oh, I think I know what might be going on here. The speech to bytes gets saved into a text variable which gets stuffed into that future. Maybe there's some kind of overflow there. Let's see. Howdy, howdy.
What's up? What's up?
That sounded like something between half a second and 0.5, so I don't think this is actually blocking. Yeah, no problem, man. See you later, TJ. Mapping, blocking. If false, return immediately, but playback continues in the background. I think the problem here Let's increase the number of tokens and see like if it actually cuts off what it's actually doing there. Did it warn on any of these? Let's do a longer one. What is your opinion on dark matter? What is your opinion on dark matter? So one thing I don't like is that it takes a second to say it. Like it's almost like the computer can't render it fast enough. Let's see.
0. Dark matter? I don't even understand regular matter.
I'm like doing the math in my head for these like second counts here. Voice for Don, voice for Barry, what's your opinion on dark matter? 0. I don't even understand regular matter. The reason he says 0 is because it's the 0th index. I think we just need more people or else it just stops. Let's do that. Let's add one more person and then I think the LLM won't just terminate. I think it's like giving us an end of sequence token. And that's why it's just ending.
4. Asterisk chuckles.
Four asterisks chuckles. So it said the fourth one first. So we don't want as completed. I think we want the yield. Wait for the futures in the given sequence to complete. I think that's what we want, because I think basically you want to send them actually backwards. And then by sending them backwards, the last one gets done first, and then you control the output length. What do we call the wait function? For futures as completed. In concurrent futures as completed. Can I just import this? From futures import weight. What do I need to provide here? The futures timeout. Okay, so I need to add the timeout to this. And I think I could just do this, futures, not have it as a keyword argument, which is just more verbose for no reason. And I need to append them backwards. So we need to do it like this. Yep. Let's test it. Let's test it. Let's do Joe as well. What is your name? Damn, this one returns a set. Okay, returns a named two-tuple of sets. The first one, named done, contains the futures that are completed before the wait completed. The second set, named not done. A named two-tuple of sets, done and not done. So I think you're supposed to use this like this. Results equals wait if not results dot done. Warning, waiting on transcribe. While, I guess, true. But it's a set. A set doesn't have an order, so how does that work? I want a futures as completed iterate on the list, yielding finished futures one by one in reverse order. This is 100% what I want. I knew that's what I wanted. We want this, yield finished futures. Waiter. No, this is futures. Ref collect. Waiters removed. The aim of this function, let's see where this is actually implemented. Yield from yield finished futures. Ref collect pending. Alright, I think we're just gonna make our own fucking thing here. We already have them in order that we want in this list here called futures. So now we just basically put them in a queue and pop them out. Create a queue for futures. Yeah, because you want the first one to come out. Alright, I think this will go back through them backwards, which is what we want. Let's rerun that. Let's rerun this. Hello, hello. What? It translated it to some kind of Arabic. That is crazy.
You here today.
So I only heard the last one. Let's get rid of that sleep. we're going to print out the result here, and we're going to add some big, bold new lines here so we can know exactly when it reads here. Because I think that the blocking is not actually working. That's my guess. The blocking is not working.
Maybe it's a sign that you two are meant to be together.
It's like printing out the whole thing. It's because we don't really want to print the bytes. Let's do this. Results equals future.result. And then we'll have make sure to put that timeout there, and here we'll say result and everything to the left of that. So not the 0th one and not the 1, but the 2. Put that there. And then here we're going to say result 0. Hello there, Joe. Received result 255. This thing we're doing here, it's not working. Because this here is just speech bytes. This is where we've got to put the enumerate. And here we do time dot, and we can get rid of it here, I'm pretty sure. Look at that, we're simplifying all of our code as well. Received result I. That's so much nicer. So much nicer. Received result 0. Let's add another person to the conversation here. It's doing the speech bites. Now it's stuck. What's nicer, Joe? Clone voice object. Generating audio for voice that. It's stuck on something here. I think we need to be using the executor function. And I think we actually need to look at this. Futures concurrent. Because I think ChatGPT led us astray. Shut down, submit, wait on A, executor.submit. Wait on future, submit. As completed. In order. Wait for the futures instances given by FS, duplicate the features. I think we got to do the wait. What are rockets? It's gonna wait for all of them. It aired out because there was too many. Enumerate wait futures. What is 5 plus 3? Damn, it's just so good. Retrieved result set has no object attribute result. Show me an example that uses the concurrent, or I guess it already knows about this. Show me an example of how to use the concurrent.futures wait function. Is dead. What are the thoughts on the release of GPT-4? I don't know. I haven't looked at it. Let's do a quick GPT-4. 1 hour ago. New York Times. I mean, this is all just going to be generic. GPT-4. Let's go what they have to say. Created GPT-4, the latest milestone in OpenAI's effort. Large multimodal model. Capabilities. Subtle. Yeah. This is probably, before I read any more, this is what I was predicting. It's just marginally better. They didn't actually release their latest one. They probably released one that was before then. This is like math tests. This is pretty good. I like this. I like this. I like that they benchmark it on SAT. MMLU, state of the art. Holy shit. A close-up of the VGA connector with a small lightning connector at the end. Because this product is like a fake product. It's basically just a little VGA adapter, but you can't plug a VGA into a phone, so basically it's a joke. Holy shit. But this is not generation, that's just detection. Damn. Education is over. Socratic tutor. Look at that. It teaches you. Hallucinates facts. You're never going to solve that, but that's why they're good. Yeah, it does perform well. It's impressive. I like how they're focusing on the benchmark. It's like they're not, this blog could have very easily just been like here's all the different like widgets that we put inside GPT-4 and like all these different, oh, we used this thing and made it this much deeper and trained it this much longer and so on. But instead, they're really focusing on benchmarks, right? They're like, here's a bunch of common high school tests. Here's a bunch of language benchmarks. Here's an example. It's like, here's a Socratic tutor. There's a lot of examples. There's a lot of talking about what it does, which is pretty cool. I mean, granted, that also means that they don't really want you to know what the architecture is and they're being secretive about what it actually is. But I think that as long as you kind of have a datasheet style thing like this and you have plenty of examples, that's the best you could want. ChatGPT Plus subscribers. Yeah, we expect to be severely capacity constrained. Welcome to the future. This is how we do it. We basically sit around and get paid UBI, and then those who are willing to waste their UBI on the premium AI inferences get the success. Because this right here is basically telling you that we've basically commoditized intelligence and it has a price now. So not only will rich people be able to afford better education, but rich people will also just be smarter than poor people because they can just query the omniscient AGI better, right? And the AGI that they have access to is worth more per inference, so it's a higher quality. Well, I don't think it's like, people put too much blame on the company itself, but I think it's just the dynamics of the system. The lion is a murderer because it lives in the savannah and that's how it gets food, and OpenAI is a corporation, so it needs to make money. No, this is cool. I need to do like an actual deep dive on this, and I'll definitely once I try to get access to this, and then we can use it. But that's why I need to finish this, because once I finish this, then we're good. Then we can basically talk to Chat GPT-4. Like the chat interface is where it's at. It's just we're getting stuck in these fucking threading things. I think I'm just going to start using multiprocessing. I think it's really what I wanted. Okay, I need a multiprocessing and a queue. show me how to use multiprocessing to add 4 jobs or 4 function calls to a queue. I then want to wait for them to finish in first out order. Write this in Python with multiprocessing library. All right, we're almost here. I can taste it. Concurrent futures is easier, my ass. It's terrible. Go very simple. Look at this little queue. Easy money. Is there actually a queue object? Did it just hallucinate that queue object? There is no queue object. Oh, no, yeah, there is. Okay, we're good. Queue.put. Right here. So let's copy this. Queue.put voice text. Create a list to store the processes. Okay, so let me just copy paste this. Yeah, no problem, man. Let me know. It's an exciting time. What if my functions have a return value? This is just fucked here. Is there a priority queue? Args queue.get put this here. This is a multiprocessing dot process. The target here is speech to bytes. I don't actually need this that to be a multiprocessing queue, I guess. Args are going to be voice and text. What does GitHub Copilot recommend? Wow, not very useful. P.start. And what I really want is from Q port Q why do I need to use a queue? I don't need a queue. I don't actually need it. Process sys p.start p dot processes dot append p. No, I do want the queue. Yep, nope. It needs to be the queue. Process queue equals or process queue dot append p. Okay. And while not process queue dot empty get, and we want is get what we want. Is that the first one in? Remove and return an item from the list. This default last in. Multiprocessing queue. close, open, bootstrap, after fork. I think what we want are pipes. But this is going nowhere, so I'm going to cut my losses, come up here, and then just say for voice text in history, text to speech bytes, copy paste that, put that in there, speech bytes, soundfile.read, blocking, true, sd.play, and then let's add the time.sleep here. Let's fucking destroy all of this, because this is gross. Put that there. Interrupt buffer. Alright, this significantly simplifies our code, and it's probably going to work. Between Don, Elon, and Lex, who is the tallest? Who is the tallest? Voice equals loaded voices, append voice. Text to speech bytes voice. It's text voice. Who has bigger hands?
I'm just thinking about the size of things.
Well, I don't think it matters that much.
Maybe not, but I bet my hands are bigger than yours.
I highly doubt that, Don.
Oh yeah, let's compare.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Let's sort our imports. Let's save. Let's get rid of some of these things that we never used. Let's see what else we changed. What did we change in 11 labs.py? Added some functions there, some functions there. Save. Sort imports. Save. And you know what? Why don't we just ignore, get all of that all of that, all of that, all of that, and all of that, and just delete all of that. We don't need tubes CSV. And we don't need grad.io chat and grad.io meme maker. We don't need fast audio. And grad.io stream, let's name it something better here. Let's call it grad.io demo. All right. End of part 2 of stream. It works. I'm going to add everything to that. We're going to commit. We're going to sync. I'm going to go work out. This has been a long code jam, as code jams should be. Excited to see GPT-4 and see what happens. But thanks for watching, and see you guys later.